Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols. Well, up first, we've got Tom Hanlon, and he's going to tell us how we can get walking for a good cause. Here he is.
Hi, I'm Tom Hanlon, and I'm the director of Rivers Way Outdoor Adventure Center. But I'm also a Bristol Morning Rotary Club member. And we were faced with a situation this summer where we realized we could not do our annual fundraiser, which is the Summer's End 5K that we normally run on Labor Day weekend. So we thought we could come up with another event that would take the place of the 5K. And it just so happened that at the same time we were thinking about this, Rivers Way was working with an app called Map My Walk. And it's an app that records people's walks. We've been using it with our participants with differing abilities, and it's been quite effective. So we thought we might be able to set up an event where it would be an 8-week challenge, and we would call it the Bristol Morning Rotary Summer's End Walking Challenge. And in setting this up, why not invite several nonprofits to take part? The Morning Rotary Club always makes a donation to some nonprofits in our area: Girls Inc., the Boys and Girls Club of the Mountain Empire, Rivers Way, and Bristol, Tennessee City Schools, and Bristol Youth Leadership. And we said, why not just invite those groups to be part of this walking challenge? So it's really, the idea behind it is eventually these clubs will get donations from the Bristol Morning Rotary Club, but at the same time, they're participating in an 8-week challenge that will benefit their participants. So the challenge that we set up involves youth, staff, and board members from the organizations I mentioned. And that's one of the really exciting parts about this is we have 5 different organizations and then 6, including the Boys and Girls, including the Rotary Club members. All of us are involved in this walking challenge. So it's kind of this community event that we want to see. We could have over 150 people involved. That's what it looks like. And the challenge will run from September 28th through November 23rd. And one of the big goals of this challenge, aside from promoting community amongst the nonprofits involved, is to push the idea that physical activity in our area is really something we need to work on. There was a survey that was taken a number of years ago, or a study, I should say. And in that study, it shows that the Tri-Cities area of Johnson City, Kingsport, and Bristol is rated 185th out of 190 small urban communities for physical activity. Kingsport has responded to that by setting up a walking initiative, and within Kingsport it's sponsored by Healthy Kingsport. And what they're looking at is 4 million steps. They want to see participants in this walking initiative do 4 million steps. With our challenge, the Rotary Challenge, we want to look at 30-minute walks. If people want to go more than 30 minutes, that's great. But the CDC recommends that people do 5 walks of 30 minutes or more each week. And that's for adults. Actually, for children, it's 60 minutes of 5 60-minute days of or programs of walking. But here, you want to just focus on the adult standard, which is, again, 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And we figured that with all of our nonprofits and organizations participating, and with the help of our media sponsor, the Bristol Herald Courier, we can get the message out there that people can be walking. More people can be walking. We have people in our group, they're all people with differing abilities, who walk on a regular basis. We had, in the month of August, we had 11 out of 12 people in our core group meet the walking goal of doing 14 30-minute walks in the course of the month. Now we're up to 16 walks for the month of September. We had one young woman who did over 70 walks, and we had a young man who did 49 walks. We had somebody in a wheelchair who did a number of 6-mile walks on the Creeper Trail in addition to his almost every day 2-mile walk. So these people have different abilities. They're out there walking. Our staff are walking, and our board members are walking, and we're showing that walking can be done by most everyone. we feel like the 8-week challenge is something that's really interesting because normally when you have an event, it's a 1-day event. But by having an 8-week challenge, it really requires people who are involved in the challenge to commit to a long-term effort. Like they have to try to walk as much as they can during an 8-week period. I'm a pretty big walker. I try to walk every day. So I put down 56 walks for the 8-week period. We have people who are putting down 24 walks. We have people 32. We have people 48. We have 56. So we have a wide range of walkers. But the idea is to get out there and walk. Don't let the number scare you or the number cause you to not walk. You just want to set a goal and try to meet that goal. So if we look at these organizations, what you should see is like if you go by Girls Inc. any afternoon after school, you'll see a group of people out there walking. Some of their girls are going to be walking with the staff person leading them. But you also see that some of their staff members out in the community and some of their board members out in the community are walking as well. The same holds true for the Boys and Girls Club of Bristol. With Bristol Youth Leadership, the students who are in the leadership program will be walking on their own. They'll be downloading this Map My Walk app onto their phones, and they'll be out there walking, trying to meet their goals. So you might see them around the neighborhood or on the track at Tennessee High or Virginia High. Participants in this event are using this app called Map My Walk. It's an Under Armour app that can be loaded on your phone for free. And what we found is this app is a great community builder. If you have a number of people get this app on their phone and they become friends with each other, that enables you to see the walks that your friends do. And included in that, you see a map of their walk. And oftentimes people will take photographs while they're on their walk, so you can see photos on their walk. You'll be able to comment on friends' walks. And that kind of builds up this sense of community where people are encouraging each other and they get a sense for other people working out. And it's almost like you're in a team effort pursuing a common physical goal. Bristol's a great walking community, really. I think we're rated pretty highly in terms of walkability when the Herald Courier did a story on that subject. If you look downtown, there's sidewalks all over the place, and there's interesting places to look at. You can walk around Cumberland Park or go up and down State Street or go down some of the back streets in the downtown area. I live up near Virginia High School, and there's great walking on the roads and sidewalks around the high school. Plus, you can walk on the Virginia High track. And since I'm on the Virginia side and closer to Sugar Hollow, I will go up to Sugar Hollow most every weekend and walk. For those on the Tennessee side, you have Steel Creek Park, which is, I think, the third biggest park in Tennessee for a city. And you also have the track at Tennessee High School, and you have that White Top Park area where there's also a walking trail. And I know from driving around Bristol that there are plenty of great walking areas all around both sides of town. There really isn't too much of an excuse for not getting out to walk. I mean, some people might figure that walking is a luxury, but I think everyone, most everyone, can look at carving out 30 minutes a day to go out and walk and do something that's going to better their health. During this time of COVID-19, I hear and I've experienced that our lives are different. We're under different types of stresses, and sometimes that can be difficult. It can be difficult when you're not out able to see all the people you're normally out seeing. And so you have to do things that better your physical and mental health. And walking is one of the absolute best things you can do. You can look at all kinds of research that would show you that that was the case. All you have to do is Google it, the health benefits of walking, and you'll just see them everywhere. We hope that and I know my fellow Rotarians hope that by doing this challenge, we're going to help out all of us who are involved in this challenge. We're all committed to the physical activity that's there, but not just helping the clubs and the organizations, but also Bristol as a community. Rivers Way is our main mission, is to have people with differing abilities get out there and show the community that they can do everything or most everything that other people can do. They can really contribute to their community. And that's certainly been the case this summer, where they've already shown that they can walk and they can achieve walking goals. And in some cases, those walking goals are considerable. So we really want to thank our sponsors for this Bristol Morning Rotary Summer's End Walking Challenge. Without the sponsors, the event wouldn't work the way it does. And all of the money from this event is going to nonprofits who need that money to sustain their programs. So our sponsors for this event are Belfour, and then the Bristol Herald Courier is our media sponsor. We have BTES, Comfort Systems, Elliott Lawson and Minor, Jersey Mike's, Daniel Parker Realtor, TVA, and United Southeast Federal Credit Union. We want to thank them again. They make this event the event that it will be. Thank you. We're excited about this challenge. Again, it starts on September 28th. It runs through November 23rd. And we'll have some kind of celebration the week after Thanksgiving, where we get the clubs together and do some kind of, probably a virtual celebration. So if you have questions, you can contact me by going to our website. My contact information is on the website. The website is riversway.org. And I can give you our phone number. It's 423-612-1242. Thank you, and I hope you see people walking around Bristol and know that they're part of this Summer's End Walking Challenge.
Thanks so much for that information. Well, coming up next, we'll hear from someone from the police department. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols. Well, up next, we've got Lieutenant Brian Hess, and he's going to tell us about a new city ordinance. Here he is.
Okay. So the new tethering ordinance was amended and went into effect August 1st of this year. And basically what it does is it allows for a permit if you work nights or you have a hunting or sporting dog that would benefit from being outside. Of course, there are things that go with that. You cannot tether an animal or a dog that is less than 6 months of age, no females in heat, and no dogs that have injury or illness at the time. The tether also has to be at least 12 feet long with a swivel at both ends. That way it gives the animal 360-degree access around where it's tethered. It has to be able to get to food, water, and shelter. And obviously it still can't disturb the neighbors during certain times of the day or night. The ordinance is set up to where you cannot tether between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. You would have to have the permit to be able to do that. And obviously, going back to what I said earlier, you have to work nights or you have to have a hunting or sporting dog. Because a lot of those dogs in the cold weather, they build up a more robust coat because they're like labs and dogs that do duck hunting and waterfowl, things like that. So you take them inside and they don't get to build up that coat, and it's really bad for them. It doesn't help them. So being outside actually benefits those type of dogs. With the permit, they actually have to fill the permit out, and we'll just say like for if you work nights, and they have to show that they work nights, what their hours are. Our animal control will actually follow up on that to make sure everything is as it's supposed to be, and then they swear to it that these are true and correct facts. So those are some of the guidelines we go by. And the sporting and hunting dogs do the same thing. We'll come out, our animal control will come out, and they'll speak with them. They'll see the dog. They'll have proof. We actually have at least one already I know of that was approved for his hunting and sporting dog.
Thanks so much for all that information. Well, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols. And up next, we're going to hear from Rachel Dean, and she's going to give us some great tips on using our slow cooker. Here she is.
Hi there, this is Rachel Dean, Family Consumer Sciences Agent with UT Extension here in Sullivan County. You can certainly tell that fall is in the air. We've got cooler temperatures, it's getting darker earlier, and for many of us, including myself, that means it's time to break out the slow cooker, or crock pot as many of us like to call it, and prepare some of our favorite fall recipes. The slow cooker can be an extremely helpful tool when we're busy. You simply place your ingredients inside, set it, come back, and you've got a delicious meal waiting on you. Slow cookers are also great for preparing less expensive, typically tougher cuts of meat. They turn out tender and delicious and can help save you money in the long run. Additionally, there are a lot of recipes for your slow cooker that require really minimal ingredients and very few steps. One of my favorites is for salsa chicken. You simply take chicken breast, place into your slow cooker, pour a jar of salsa on top, cook on high for 4 hours or low for 6 to 8 hours. Make sure to temp your chicken to make sure it's reached the proper temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and you have delicious salsa chicken waiting on you. There are a few food safety tips that we need to make sure that we follow when we're using our slow cooker. If this is the first time that you've used your cooker, whether you bought it new or it's inherited, you want to make sure that you stay with it that first time just to make sure it's working as it should. We also want to make sure that we don't place frozen food into our slow cooker. You want to make sure to thaw out anything like poultry or meat, as an example, in the refrigerator ahead of time. This is due to the fact that the slow cooker may not get the food up to a safe temperature in the amount of time needed, and it could cause bacterial growth and make us sick as a result. Additionally, although it may be very tempting to lift that lid and inhale the aroma of your delicious food that's cooking, you want to make sure that you leave that lid on for the entire duration of the cooking time. Each time we lift that lid and that steam escapes, you add about 20 minutes onto your cooking time. If you're wanting to reheat your leftovers and place back into the slow cooker, you want to make sure that you reheat those using your oven, microwave, or stove to 165 degrees Fahrenheit before placing into your slow cooker. We don't want to use the cooker to reheat foods because it may not get the food to a safe enough temperature in the amount of time, and you could cause bacterial growth and also cause illness as a result. If you have any questions regarding your slow cooker, please feel free to call us, shoot us an email, or check out our Facebook page at UT Extension, Sullivan County.
Thanks for all that information, Rachel. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely ready to pull out my slow cooker. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. Well, up next, we've got Brian Plank joining us. He is the Executive Director of the Haven of Rest Rescue Mission, and he has got a great charity event that all of us can get involved with. He'll tell us all about it. Here he is.
Hello, I'm Brian Plank. I'm the Executive Director of the Haven of Rest Rescue Mission here in Bristol, Tennessee. For those of you who may not know what we do, we are a homeless shelter. We have emergency housing for men and women. We have transitional housing for men. We have a food pantry that serves the greater Bristol area. And we also do an evening meal each day for the homeless or the working poor as well. They come to us at 5 o'clock each day. We also have an infant ministry that we help parents that are struggling with children between the ages of 0 and 18 months. That allows us to help them move forward and not have the burden of trying to come up with all the necessities for a child. So we do diapers, wipes, things of that nature. What we try to do for people while they're here is we're always in a situation where we're trying to help them move from the despair of homelessness to a situation where they can be thriving members of our society. They can have a sustainable income, sustainable housing, and that's one of the things that we are always endeavoring to do, to move people forward and help them have a better life. This year has had its challenges. This year we've had COVID-19, which has really impacted everyone in this community. We're no different than anybody else. It's just been a situation that's been very, very difficult. When you're dealing with the homeless and you're dealing with congregate living, such as we are at this point, it's a situation where you have to still try to find ways to maintain social distancing. And so we have tried to do that. We can only handle probably about a quarter of what we would normally have in terms of residency here at any time during the year in our emergency dorms. It's also had a tremendous impact on us as far as what events we can do. We have had to cancel many of our fundraising events this year, so we're right now looking forward to having a 5K event on October the 17th. That's a Saturday. It'll be at the Virginia Creeper Trail in Abingdon. It'll be at 9 a.m. in the morning. We hope that a lot of people will come out and take advantage of that and be a part of that event. It's $30 per person, and there's a T-shirt involved, and a little recognition that goes with it as well. But we hope people will call the Haven at 423-968-2011 and register for that event. So we are definitely looking forward to that. If anyone is interested in the mission that we have here of that of moving people forward in life and helping them get back on their feet and get going, we do have opportunities here for that. We would ask the community to please be mindful of the fact that we are trying to keep things going in an economy that's not going as well as it possibly could be in some cases. So we're asking people to help us with non-perishable food items. That's an area that we really suffer in. Some things that were normally done, like the Postal Workers Drive and things like that this year that provide so much of the food that we use throughout the year, that did not happen. So any kind of non-perishable food items, canned goods, pastas, staples, those things would be very, very helpful to us at this point. We would tremendously appreciate any help you could give that way. Also, the fact that we are trying to keep the place as clean as possible so that we don't have any spread of the virus here. It would be very, very helpful if folks could help us out with cleaning supplies such as sanitary wipes, just bleach, just all those things that would normally go with trying to keep a facility clean. We could really use help with those things. Again, if you would like to call the Haven and ask if there's a way that you could help with that, 423-968-2011 is a great opportunity to get some information and see how you might help with that. We're very, very thankful for the support we have had through the community. We've been here since 1955. We tremendously appreciate the fact that both Virginia City, Bristol, Virginia, and Bristol, Tennessee have been so helpful in making sure that we survive and that we do things as well as we can to help benefit the community and be a good neighbor to them while we're here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity for an update at this point, and I look forward to seeing maybe some of you come down here and visiting. We'd love to give you a tour of what we do and show you how we try to help with the homeless and try to help the community move forward with that segment of our population. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Up next, we've got Jeremy Stout. Don't go anywhere. He'll be with us in just a moment. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols. Well, we've got Jeremy Stout joining us now to tell us all about the 23rd Annual Wildlife Weekend.
Well, I'm really excited to tell you about Wildlife Weekend this year. 2020 is an unusual year, and we're going to have an unusual event. This is the 23rd annual event. Normally what we would do is invite folks to the park to take part in activities and hikes and crafts and lectures on various aspects of our local natural history. Well, this year, a lot of the instruction is going to be happening online, but there's still a wonderful opportunity to get into the park and get into nature. What we're doing is something called a bio blitz, and that's just getting as many people into nature during a set time period and making observations about the plants and animals and other organisms that they find in nature. So this year our event is taking place from October 1st until the 11th. It doesn't have to be in Steel Creek Park, but you do get extra points for observations in Steel Creek Park. I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But during that period, October 1st to 11th, registrants are invited to get into nature anywhere in Sullivan County. So that includes Kingsport and other places as well. And all you have to do is just download a free app to your smartphone or other connected device, get outside and take pictures of whatever is interesting to you. Plants, birds, fungi, reptiles, amphibians, fish, whatever you can find. But if you're new to making natural history observations, don't worry. The app actually helps you identify species that you found. So even if you have no idea what something is, you can just snap a picture of it and the app will help you identify it. And other members of the community are there to help you identify what you found as well. So this event is going to take place during that window. Registration is totally free. There will be prizes for everybody who participates, and we're also going to give awards based on various categories, like who gets the most species or who gets the most diversity of species. So lots of giveaways, lots of fun. We just ask that you do register. You can find out a lot more about what you need to know before registering for the event. Go to www.bristoltn.org/Wildlife Weekend, and that will get you started. Hope to see you there.
Thanks so much, Jeremy, for all that information. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and a quick public service announcement. And for anyone looking for some employment, this could be for you. The city of Bristol, Tennessee currently has a number of job openings, including parks and facilities worker positions, part-time school resource officer positions, and leaf collection workers. A full list of instructions on how to apply are available online at www.bristoltn.org/jobs. And up next, we've got Tiffany Scardo from the YMCA. Here she is.
So we're blessed this year to be able to offer 3 different programs during this time. We're doing Schools Out Camp. We are doing essential worker child care, both full day and half day, as well as our after school program. So what we're doing, or been fortunate enough to be able to do, is not only serve Bristol, Tennessee city schools and Bristol, Virginia public schools, but we're also being able to serve Washington County, Virginia schools, as well as Sullivan County schools. So with that, the state of Tennessee has provided us with grant funds to be able to offer any working family that has children between the ages of 5 years and 12 years fully paid, full day child care. The requirements are they have to be a working family. They have to have the children within that age range of 5 to 12. They have to have proof of their employment. What they would do is contact me here at the YMCA. I would be able to provide them just kind of through a brief qualification process. Send them 3 different external links that we use to be able to submit their information through the state. That usually within 24 hours, they're fully involved in the program. So once they get here, we're going to provide them with a safe environment to be able to do their online learning. We are providing some virtual learning assistance. I'm fortunate enough to staff some people to be able to help with that process. They're going to receive that assistance. They're also going to be able to work on their reading. We're strengthening our reading. Our community partner, the United Way, actually donated over 1,000 brand new scholastic books to be able to use in our programs this year. So we're going to be working on that, extending that reading knowledge. We're also going to be able to continue to work on our physical activity that we pride ourselves with. We also have our normal after-school program, which we are providing to Bristol, Tennessee City, all 5 elementary schools, and Bristol, Virginia public schools, all 4 of their elementary schools. We've been fortunate enough to receive the 21st Century Grant with the Virginia school systems that we will be providing in-house after-school services to Highland View Elementary. So we do provide transportation. We've partnered with Bristol, Tennessee City Schools to provide an afternoon meal. So they will come in, get settled, have a meal. We will also do some tutoring. We have about a 30-minute block where we do homework help and some tutoring. We also encourage that reading process as well as STEM learning. So that's, again, something that we've really thought that would become helpful for our community, was to be able to offer that assistance. So if they are a state of Tennessee resident who is a working family, then I can provide this through the state of Tennessee completely free, both after school and full day services. If it is Virginia, we are offering our scholarship program. The cost for a full day, if it is 5 days a week, is $100. 3 days a week to kind of cater to hybrid learning is $60, as well as the after school care is $200 a month, and that's for 5 days of care. It's definitely been a learning process for them because kids naturally want to huddle up and group together. So we started back in May, just really trying to encourage them with their social distancing. They're very much familiar with it now. They immediately go to their kind of safe spots on the floor and in their areas. They naturally are kind of stepping back and staying away from each other. But they found new ways to kind of communicate and to play and kind of form those bonds and friendships. And I think that's giving them a little bit of normalcy into their life during this kind of crazy unknown time. Also, I've shared with Jennifer from Bristol, Tennessee City Schools that seeing the meals come from the school when they were not there, it kind of gave them a sense of home. It was something that they didn't expect to be able to see or be able to get, but then to see just even a lunch come from the school system, they lit up to be able to have that normalcy. We were fortunate enough to be able to employ some former Bristol, Tennessee City School educational assistants into our programs who already have that background of helping kids in an education environment. Also, I have a lot of staff that have that passion for helping a student. A lot of them have chosen to go into that field, and they are excited and eager to be able to help them. It is one of those things that although it's been a learning process for some of my staff, that they're extremely excited about being able to have that opportunity to help a child through whatever that may be, just getting onto their Zoom meetings or helping with an assignment or answering a question that they may have. So they are fully dedicated to making sure that these children's needs are met.
Thanks so much for all that information, and thank you for tuning in today. We'll see you next time.